Now I want to talk about Instagram. The last time we chatted, we spoke about some of the things that people aren't doing quite right on Instagram. Have those things changed for you? Do you see people using Instagram in just the totally not right way?
Oh well, yeah, definitely. I think in the last few months, there's been a really good shift. A lot of brands are hopping onto the platform. A lot of guys are just sort of starting to realize the potential of it, which is great. I'm sure you'll have the guys who just are happy to snap their little puppy they just got, or the bad sunset, or the over HDR photo of this.
Okay, look, I like taking pictures of my dog, so it doesn't flood Instagram.
That's fine. So I mean, it's all about what you use it for. So I think the comparison I like to make is that if you drive, whether you drive a Beetle or a Lamborghini, like you've got to sort of know what you're doing on the platform. So some guys are like amazing photographers, and that's like handing them a Lamborghini and they drive at 60 on the highway. Whereas if they realize that the platform actually has a huge potential to extend their reach and use it as a platform to grow their photography, then they can take potential of the platform and actually speed that Lamborghini up. So, I mean, it's all about what you're using it for, of course, at the beginning. But if you're in that place where you want to sort of challenge yourself and be more creative and use it as an opportunity to fulfill that sort of 10,000 hour rule of perfecting a trade or a medium, then it's a really good place to start and have a bit of an accountable platform to posting every day, you know. So I think from in the last few months, I've seen a lot of brands who are really appreciating it. I've seen a lot more guys, some personal friends of mine who have started realizing that it's an extension of their personal space. Guys like Donovan Goliath, the comedian, if you go into his feed and you go all the way back to his older photos and then you scroll up to what they are now, you can see a distinct progression of how he's been just realizing how he can use it to tell more stories and extend his platform not only as a comedian but also showing some behind the scenes stuff and his capabilities as a photographer and that sort of thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, are people still abusing hashtags?
Always.
How do we make them stop?
Well, Instagram sort of put in a new rule now where the hashtags get sorted by according to the photo, so like or time or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but
anyways,
basically there's a new way that hashtags are registered. So that's been helping a lot because a lot of people now, when they hashtag their photo, it doesn't show up at the top, it shows up where it was posted. So that's been great. So yeah, like the nice thing about that is that there's a bit of control around it, at least. Yeah.
Now, are South Africans up to par with the rest of the world when it comes to Instagram?
Definitely not.
Oh no!
Not yet.
Why?
I think overseas, they obviously have a lot more people in numbers on Instagram on the platform, but they also it's more respected there as well. So there's guys who sort of like are similar to MySpace who have bigger followings, but are using it in a way that they're making a living, a full-time living, just purely by posting photos. Like I still do a mix of stuff and all of that.
How do you get to that point where you're making a living purely by being an Instagrammer? Because I would like to get there.
Well, I think numbers are obviously a big thing, but at the basis of it, it's about taking really good photos. One of my friends in New York said that you can have 700,000 followers, but if you take bad photos, no one's going to want to work with you. So at the basis of it, it's all about that. It's sort of like you can treat it as a community of people who are very one-on-one. So compared to like say Twitter or Facebook, where you can promote a lot of stuff, you can invite people to like your page, you can do all of that. Whereas on Instagram, it's more about specifics, one-on-one, commenting, liking, and engaging in a genuine way, building up community stuff that sort of translates into people getting to know your name more. That's the thing. It's a very, very grapevine sort of based platform. People talk about people who they love. Like I'll get comments on some of my photos where people basically or be pointing out me to some of their friends. And that sort of conversation you want to get going. Compared to, say, like Twitter, when someone can retweet you, maybe you're a well-known politician or someone, and people sort of get exposure that way, whereas on Instagram you can't regram, you can't traditionally do any of those sharing.